Hey everyone, Squee here. Just a quick heads up. The first start of this session is actually a little solo thing that I did with Inferno in between the session I missed and the session we're about to start. I started recording a bit late, so it sounds like we're in the middle of something. I promise you, all that you're missing is basically Al having thought about the conversation that took place last time he talked to the people, the Council of Flint, has decided to go back and ask to speak to the girl that had been horribly delimbed by Prince Jasper. So that's all you're missing. He's basically asked, and they're going to lead him to her. So we'll do that first, and then we'll get into the session, all right? Cool.
And she'd ask you to circle around the back. Like to go to the back where there's a small fenced-in garden.
Mm-hmm.
A garden that doesn't look like has been tended in quite some time, but there's a small stone bench nearby. And soon you can hear murmurs of a small conversation inside the house. Two female voices and a male having a simple conversation, not very heated, but soon enough the poor woman, Lisa, the one who was so badly mutilated, is wheeled out to this back garden by, we're going to say by Fatima, the dark-skinned, the olive-skinned lady, the one who's a little bit hard-nosed, right? She takes a look at you, a long, careful look, and wheels Lisa across from where you are. And she only says, "Let us know when you're done talking, and we'll bring her back inside. Don't be too late. Don't be too long. It's been a long day." And then she'll go back inside.
All right, real quick before I do this, I do want to make it absolutely clear that this is only, like, I only do this with the full knowledge that the group has already decided on these certain courses of action. So,
Yeah.
like, I can actually say things like "I swear" and actually not be going against what the group wants. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. But
Fair enough.
just so we're clear.
Yeah.
So Al would not know where to start for a while, and he would sit in front of her. And he would start slowly, and he would say, "What I did, the way I acted, was unkind and harsh. And I want to explain my reasons for doing it. I worked for a powerful nation far from here. I joined them as a bright-eyed youth. And because of my skills, I was quickly accepted into their espionage program. And they spent many years training me to do exactly what you requested me to do tonight. And I got... Oh, go ahead.
Well, just as a side, yeah, no, I guess she kind of did request of it too. She was kind of in the room, but yeah. Fair enough. It just made it seem like Lisa herself said, "Go and kill this guy."
That is
And it was
true.
the council who said, "Go and kill this guy," and she was kind of brought in just as proof of his cruelty, right? But yeah, keep going though. Keep going.
And he would say, "I was trained as a healer, and I love being a doctor. But even that, everything that I have ever been taught to heal people was only given to me so that I could deceive others into thinking I was something I was not, to hide what I really was. And I realized one day that the people I was being sent to kill were nowhere near as bad as the people sending me to do it. And I ran, and they chased me, and my friends." Al will point to himself and say, and he looks very distraught, but he'll say, "I used to be human." And then he'll take out something wrapped that he's carrying with him, which is his old bionic hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say, This used to be part of me. This is what I've had to go through to escape them. This is how strongly they had influenced my life. These people used to talk about asset acquisition. It meant getting people to work for you when they worked for the enemy. And the best way to do that was emotionally. Because if people think with their heart, they don't think with their mind. And these people would find someone like you and manipulate you or pay you to say horrible things about people to convince others that they were monsters. Now I know now that is not what happened. And my suspicions got the better of me. But I have tried so hard to leave what I was behind. And now I'm being asked to do it again for all the right reasons, and it is tearing me apart. And then Al will actually kneel down in front of her, and you'll see that he actually has tears.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "So you'll know when I ask this, I do not ask it out of spite, or because I don't trust you. I ask it because I am a tortured man that needs to know he's doing the right thing. Does this man deserve to die?"
You receive a single sharp nod from the woman.
Al will close his eyes for a while, and then nod himself and say, "Then I will do everything within my power, and my friends will do whatever we can to end this monster." And he'll stand up, "We'll see about finding a way to get you some of what you've lost back."
Okay. The woman doesn't make much eye contact with you until that last little part, until you asked her if he deserved to die and the follow-up stuff. After you're done, though, she doesn't look dispassionately. She looks like an individual who has been in like a waking nightmare, a glossy, vacant look on her face. You can tell a glimmer of light that she is aware of what you're saying, aware of you, but she doesn't really put in the effort to give any sort of significant facial feedback.
It makes sense.
After you're done with your conversation, Fatima goes and retrieves Lisa, and it's late. And glad you were able to have your conversation, but we need to get to sleep. Tomorrow's going to be another long day.
Yeah, Al will just politely excuse himself and bid them a good evening.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that is that.
Alrighty. Groovy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Riffs.
Hello. More art.
Yes, everyone's here, and more art. So, let's get started, shall we? We've got one from Kinsey, which is, oh god, when you guys were talking about how Jackie was only half a person, so you're not quite sure how many people are on the behemoth, so what your total should be. That was amazing. I love how you guys were trying to be so honest with it. We don't want to be wrong. All right, and this one is from Scarface. There's a few from Scarface. James T. I'm sorry. Walking with his hands. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble reading that. It's. I know. I understand.
It is
hard.
what it is.
It is hard taking pictures with your phone of sheets of paper. I get it, but it is a picture of James T. There is another one of something about Mila and magic. These are really done. By the way, everyone on YouTube, I'm no longer going to be showing all the fan art because we're getting too much. So I strongly encourage everyone to go to RiftyFell. Just go Twitter, hashtag, you can see it right there, RiftyFell. And you can see all of it. This one is an August kitsch. There's a lot of August, actually. He got really popular
he
really
struck
fast.
a chord.
Yeah.
He struck a chord.
New fan favorite.
All right, this is a picture from Alora of Lisbeth.
That's a good one.
All right, and this is oh god, this is when Mila and Tom were just like, what?
Oh,
What?
yeah. What?
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 There's another picture of August. This one's from Alora. Then we've got a picture of Lee from Creoners. Oh, Lee. With your bandana. This is when Tom did not quite say we're assassins. No, this was when Mila said that, actually. That's a picture of Mila. Because Mila technically is the one that said it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom was just going to confirm it. And then he thought better.
And then
Yeah.
this is just a ship of Void and Patrick.
Yeah.
Then we've
OTP.
got book it. The fight I've set up for you guys. We're just gonna run. Book it. All right. Another picture of August. I love how all the computers in this world have pineapples, and all our fan art, like laptop computers, have pineapples on them.
That's they're pineapple computers.
This one from Scarface is a picture of August. This is another picture of August. This one's from Kriana. He looks very annoyed.
Yeah. Well.
Yep, because he kind of was.
Kind of was.
Yeah. My August was based off of what Alora drew in that chibi.
And then this is from Dempseyrill. This is what he imagines Patrick's robot would look like if Patrick ever built one. Which is rather nice. And last but not least, we have the same one I just showed you. All right then.
Oh, cool. Well,
There we go.
that's
Woo!
Woo.
all right. The
boy.
first rule of Redundancy Club is the first rule of Redundancy Club. But anywho, so when we last left off, I'll kind of set the scene here for you guys. You managed to Mila, Tom, Patrick, Bear, and James T. all managed to return to the Behemoth, avoiding Flitch and his goons that were insisting that you hand James T. off to them. Managing to cross that long bridge into Green Castle, into the abandoned farmland in which you were instructed to park your behemoth, you are able to return safe and sound. Al, you are at the behemoth, so all your characters are now in the same vicinity to allow yourselves to communicate with each other. It is still raining, for crying out loud, over that overcast, gloomy sky. And it is a solid... Actually, that gray sky is starting to get darker. It's around 7 o'clock in the evening.
All right.
Do you want me to put you down now, James?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put him down.
Okay. He scurries on his hands a little bit. He says, "That was a close call, which is why I never wanted to go here in the first place." And he kind of just huddles by the kitchen table there, kind of glowering at you all with his wild eyes.
Al will poke his head out from his room. What was a close call?
Someone tried kidnapping James. I think.
They took me to a body chop shop, and she didn't want to let me go.
Al's gonna look very confused. I thought you were taking him to a cyber dock.
Yeah.
Same thing, same thing, same thing. Chop you up is what they do.
Al will kind of nod and go, I see, and that's why you brought him back. I see. That's all he's gonna say. You're like, ah.
I think it's fair to say that your players would fill Al in, unless you guys really want to explain to him in character what happened with Joshua and Clark and the other refugees that were left behind, now huddled in the basement of a old farm in the outskirts of Greencastle. So, suffice to say, Squeeze, since you saw the last session, all the information is in Al's brain.
Got it.
Groovy?
Yeah, I was
We
gonna.
did some Matrix shit over there. Yeah,
We
go
could
ahead.
say we had dinner and talked about it over dinner because it is 7 at night.
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. James T does not eat. He never really needs to eat, so he just goes back into your little medical section of the behemoth to spend some time alone.
When he was not there, like after being filled and everything, Al would say, so about this, and like he's kind of like rubbing his temples. Cyberdoc, is this someone you think will help him and it just didn't go well? Should we be looking other places?
Well, this is the only place that we know of that has a cyberdoc.
Al nods. So in other words, they might be able to help him, but we might have to sit there and make sure it's done.
Essentially, yeah. She was more interested. It looked like she was more interested in just studying him than actually helping him. So,
Mila's, I was gonna say Mila's gonna get up from the table and leave. She's gonna go check on James.
Okay. All right. You guys can finish your conversation.
Yeah,
and I'll
sorry, I
switch
didn't mean
the
to
focus
interrupt.
with Mila. No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
finish
fine.
your conversation, fellas.
we did actually spend some credits on some legs, but again, she didn't seem like she wanted to help. She seemed like she wanted to study and pull apart, if you know what I mean.
Right. And Al's still going to be rubbing his temples. Well, then obviously, what are we going to do? We can't, I don't want him around any longer than you do, but we can't just leave him there. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. Might want to just ask him what he wants.
He wants to be with us. We know what he wants.
Yeah, but that's not an option.
You're welcome to ask him for alternatives.
He hates me, so it's gonna have to be you.
Al shakes his head.
You were not at the cyberdoc. You did not see the look that he gave me.
It's not
Okay.
that. It's not that, Tom. I've seen people like that before. They're not interested in alternatives. He's not going to let us know what to do with him. I will ask him, of course. I've been wrong before. I just wouldn't expect much from that.
Okay. Sorry. Continue on with the conversation, or
No,
No, we're
you
done.
can concentrate on others.
okay. So I'll switch over to Mila. Mila, you head into the medical kind of section there, where Al likes to do some of his work there, and you see James T. Not really sitting, kind of hunched over one of the cots. His face is actually, his back is to the door. Actually, his messy hair is kind of covering his face as he looks into the corner. He doesn't really acknowledge your entrance into the room. What you like? Mm-hmm.
Mila will walk in and actually like giving James some distance will probably, I don't know, is there more than one cot? Just sit down on?
Yes, I believe there's like 3 or 4 cots in this area. So, and they probably would be lined up like 2 on one side of the door, or one side of the room, and 2 on the other. So you could either take the cot that's kind of next to his or across the room from his.
Probably across the room.
Okay, all right.
And then she would kind of wait a moment and then go, James,
Yeah.
they're talking about how they want to help you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be helped?
It depends on what the help is. If the help involves changing what I am, then probably not. I want to be improved upon, but no one can be trusted with what I am. Therefore, I want to keep being what I'm being and do what I want. preferably with you. You've proven yourselves to be extremely helpful and generous to me.
I'm sorry you had to go through that today, James.
And he actually takes a moment to look around, and he eyes you carefully before he says, well, you fixed it, and I can't say I've been in the water before, so new experiences. Fine. It is what it is. It is what it is, but not again. And he starts murmuring.
She nods, just kind of sits there watching him.
He gets animated at some points before, if you don't continue to engage in conversation with him, his mutterings kind of die down, and another kind of dark look crosses his twisted face as he once again turns himself, so he is once more, his back is to you.
She's just sitting there.
Okay, all right. I have no way to continue this scene. We can just continue on explaining, and then you can say when you would be done. You know what I mean? But honestly, I don't think James T. He's kind of in a not really meditative state, just a fuming state, perhaps one might say. So yes, he's not being very chatty at the moment. But all right, I'll throw it back here to the group here. So you would have eaten, right? So we'll say it's around, what do you think, around 7:30ish or so?
Yeah,
Something like that.
I think so.
7:30, okay. Looks like you guys can calculate there's probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half worth of daylight left. What would you like your next moves to be? I mean, I have
Well-
another scene in mind in the future if you want to go ahead to that, but I'd like to put you guys in the driver's seat.
I need to do some out of character strategizing just really quickly.
Oh, yeah, go nuts. Yep.
Did we want to wait until the daytime to move these people, or the nighttime?
I believe Squee has a plan about that.
Well, actually, no, I don't have much of a plan about how we are going to implement it, but I did want to hold off for about a day because Al would want to, for lack of a better term, case the town. Spend a day finding out how many mercenaries are here, where they are, what their methods are, what kind of forces we're dealing with, and from there make a plan of what to do and how to do it.
Seems fine.
Mhm.
Do you need anybody to go with you?
It never hurts. So,
Yeah,
I will.
more eyes would increase the skill roll and more information.
I'll be glad to help.
awesome. And ideally, considering the size of the town, he would want to pretty much take an entire day to do it. Because, you know, it's not like there's a list for him to go look at. And
Yeah, these are all the mercenaries who work here today. These are their names and their favorite colors.
This is their punch cards. They're here. They are located
This is
here.
amazing. Why don't they always do this?
Oh boy,
the coalition's been doing
Unfortunately, Killer is off today. Today is his day off.
Instead, we have Skiller, his half brother. Anyway,
Yes.
Anywho, what would you guys? Is there anything that you guys want to do particularly in character this evening? Do you want me just to move on to the next scene, or would you like to just discuss more about, like, do you want to wait and see what information you get the next day, then decide what to do with these? I'll call them Not leftover refugees. That sounds like refugees you put in the fridge to eat at a later time. The forgotten refugees.
This one's moldy. All right.
Okay.
I can't think of anything in character.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm going to be doing in character is spending the rest of the night in his room, playing the guitar.
Okie dokie. All right. Patrick?
Let's see. It seems that the night is free, so I guess he'll start tinkering away on his spaceship thing.
Okie doke. All right. So, at approximately 8:10 in the evening, a set of headlights approaches the behemoth. You see, it's still very gray, overcast. It has gotten darker, but not so much that you can't see who is approaching. It is a single ATV that looks like it is... Sorry, not a... Yeah, an ATV. Mistake. That is crossing the bridge from Green Castle onto the field. Now, of course, you've seen traffic go to and fro before. I mean, this is a relatively sized city, except this one heading from the bridge seems to be heading directly towards your behemoth. It is a big boss model type with what looks like a mini missile launcher on the very top. It looks like it's armed, but it's not currently pointing or targeted towards the behemoth. You can see the outlines of what you believe is 3 or 4 passengers as it stops approximately 100 feet away northwest of the behemoth itself. For those who choose to look through the behemoth's windows, you would notice that 4 figures step out. One of them is the large orc character named Fleck that you encountered earlier on, including his 2 cronies, a man and a woman. The individual that you whisked away to the magic item of the House of the Golden Places, Patrick, is not present. In addition, stepping outside the passenger seat, you do see the crimson red dressed, 4-armed cyber doctor named Elizabeth Kennett. She steps out, and you see her say a few words to the other 3 individuals, who they themselves are dressed in body armor with weaponry as well, although they are holding it off to their sides. You see them just kind of make a little cluster group around the vehicle itself, watching her intently as she makes strides towards the behemoth. One set of arms hanging loosely at her side, while her other set are folded, resting just underneath her chest. As she approaches you, what would you like to do? Oh, she approaches the behemoth. You are all still inside said behemoth.
I would verify real quick. Do you guys know these people?
Oh, hey. Yeah. They chased us. Except for that one. I don't know who that is. She points to Elizabeth. She doesn't remember.
Al would be like, 4 arms, isn't she the cyber doc you mentioned? Unless there's a lot of 4-armed people in that town.
No, we met August. I think that was his name.
Al will pat Mila on the shoulder and look to Tom and Patrick.
Tom is quickly getting on his body armor and nodding.
Right.
Alicia and Bear themselves are alert around the area, asking if they should prepare for trouble.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Al will nod, yeah.
Okay.
And then...
So before you engage in any sort of conversation or whatnot with Miss Elizabeth, I will give you guys the right of way to get into body armor and equip yourself with weapons if you feel it is necessary. I'm allowing that flexible time
Sure.
because she's patient enough to wait a little bit.
Awesome. Then yes, I will, not my power armor or anything, but regular body armor and regular combat gear stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Mila will put on her stuff just because she sees everyone else doing it.
There you go.
Also, do we have any place like a compartment or something in the behemoth that would be harder to get into than the med bay?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I mean, the cargo bay itself, the nature of the doors leading into and out of it would be a little bit more structurally sound, but inside the behemoth, the living compartments, they're all made of the same mega damaged material, so there's no reinforced area. No, with the actually, that's not true. The pilot's compartment has a is specially reinforced for combat mostly, but the pilot area, if it was sealed, would be hard to get into. Yes, harder than the med bay.
I was also, but you kind of answered my question. I was also thinking like if they came into the behemoth, but yeah, that makes sense either way. Then I would move James T into the pilot bay.
Now, by move him, you mean ask
not
him?
physically ask him. Tell him
Yeah.
that things might get a little hairy and that he might be best served by moving to the pilot bay.
Harry. Okay, but I might sprout hairs myself if I get bored.
Al
And
shakes-
he complies.
I was gonna say Al shakes his head and says, "No, the chop shop is coming to you."
And he gives he moves to the pilot compartment, but his eyes typically, look around, roll around his skull quite a bit. So a lot of times, even when he's talking to you, he doesn't look you directly in the eye. But as he travels to the pilot compartment for it to be sealed up, he looks directly at you. And the look is serious and focused and surprisingly lucid as he reflects an intention to not fuck with him as he eventually gets inside the pilot's compartment and you're able to seal him up. Of course, the pilot's compartment itself, we would say, would be locked by almost like a blast door with a key code to get in. Key codes that all of you individuals would know, but any outsider would not. Fair enough?
Yeah, I would, if I can say something to him with that, as he goes in there with that
course.
look, I would say,
Yeah.
James, I'm not even sure if I like you or not, but we made a deal. We gave you our word, and most of all, you're a guest in our ship. No one's getting you today.
It is very good that you made that clear, but James T does not really change his look.
And then I will close
All
the
right.
door.
Okay, boom. With him just staring at you, the door closes. All right, so who would like to either go out and greet Miss Kennett or welcome her inside and talk with Miss Kennett? Really, the ball's in your court.
Actually, I was going to say, and whoever wants to could, but we have a PA system for a reason.
Yeah.
True. You sure do.
Anyone want the honors, or?
Sure.
Alrighty.
Here comes Mila.
Hello, is this thing on?
Oh boy. All right. So, a loud voice, Mila's voice is amplified outside the behemoth, and even inside you can hear reverberations of her speech as Miss Kennett looks kind of upwards slightly before she nods, and then you hear her say, I certainly hope your sensory systems can pick up my voice. Which
I
they
can hear you. You.
Good. Is it fair to assume, I believe I recognize your voice, but is it fair to assume that all the individuals who came to visit my shop earlier this evening is present inside your robotic vehicle?
Maybe.
I see. There is no need to play coy. I am not here to create violence. I think it's unnecessary. I like to avoid it whenever I can, which is why I've had my associates stand back and just stay here for my possible protection. Would you be amenable to a face-to-face conversation? Or shall we just talk like this?
Hang on, let me ask. Hey, Al!
Oh my god!
Al will put a hand over the mic.
God, Mila, I love you so much.
Correction. Hey, pointy ears.
Al will put a hand over the mic. I think, Mila, it would be best if we just talk through the PA. You're doing a
Okay.
wonderful job as it is. I wouldn't want to change it.
Thanks, pointy ears. All right. Move your hand.
I move my hand.
Goodness, you're amazing.
Hello. Can you hear me?
You can see Miss Kenneth Elizabeth give another brisk, kind of impatient nod. Yes, still operational.
We're just gonna wait in here and talk to you.
Okay. She says, that's fine. So, I think it's important that we're both clear with each other. When you brought your friend or associate or property or however you want to see it into my home, I communicated how advanced the technology was and how interested I was in studying it. We had an agreement in which you paid me for some certain services, and a part of that payment was my study of your friend. Then you whisked him away without a nary a thought, implying problems, and here we are. I am going to study him, she says. Now, whether it is done peacefully or through the barrel of a gun is entirely up to you. So, shall we discuss peaceful options first?
Okay. I don't think he's gonna go with you. So, thanks for stopping by. Bye. Mila.
You see her through the window purse her lips as she says, Is there anyone else I can talk to?
Al will put a hand over the intercom with kind of a grin. Tell her no one's here right now, and if she'd like to leave a message, she can do so.
Pointy ears says no one's here right now. So if you'd like to leave a message. What did you say? What was the last part?
Go ahead and leave it.
Go ahead and leave it.
She thinks for a moment and says, I see. Very well. Here's my message. There are scores of mercenaries in Greencastle, bored out of their minds, waiting for work, waiting for Prince Jasper to return. I think I'm going to give them a job. And with that, she walks to her vehicle. Do you do anything?
Oh, that's good that she's giving them jobs. So they're making money.
Oh, Mila, don't be impolite. Wish her a nice day.
Have a nice day.
All right.
All right.
Al?
Al will get a more serious face.
Hold Hold on.
Hmm?
I'm not letting her go yet. Al, should we stop her? Because if she does this, we're gonna need to leave right now.
Al will shake his head. Stopping her is not really going to help the issue. I doubt very seriously someone like her would have come out here without things already being arranged. If she doesn't return, I would assume people will come looking. I don't think we have much time either way.
Well, what do you want to do about? We're not still on the intercom, right?
No.
We're gonna
Good.
say no.
Please,
because it'd be
no.
horrible.
What about the others? Because that's going to take some time.
Actually,
Either way.
I have a brilliant idea.
Hmm?
We're worried about the mercenaries being in the town and hurting the people, right? What if they're concentrating on us? What if we draw all the mercenaries out of the town where they can't hurt the people? Lead them on a wild goose chase, take out the prince, and then there's no mercenaries in the town to hurt the people.
And
Oh,
just
jeez.
to remember, Al, you've been sitting in the behemoth the whole time. No one knows who you are.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, you haven't been to the town yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Elizabeth
Oh.
hasn't seen your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only worry is how many mercenaries are there?
Mm-hmm.
It's
If
true.
there are scores like she says, you guys will have one fuck of a fight on your
No,
hands.
it's absolutely true,
Yeah.
and it is absolutely a risk as well. But it is a method to get them out of the city. I don't know if it's the right call. I'm just saying this is an option available to us.
I know it's an option. I don't like the option, though.
Do you like it
mean-
less than killing Jasper and having a bunch of angry mercenaries run havoc through that town?
To be fair, that isn't mutually exclusive.
Yeah, that isn't mutually exclusive.
True.
The thing that is mutually exclusive is if we stop her, and then very quickly, since we will very likely have a little bit more leeway than we would right now, try and get those people out, or do we just cut tail and run?
Hang on.
Or
That-
we
that is the really big
deceive
question.
her.
How?
Say, yeah, we'll bring him tomorrow, and just get the people out tonight, and get the fuck out of town.
It's worth thinking about. I'm thinking out of character and probably as Al in character too.
I think you're all talking out character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mila
She-
would not
yeah.
be saying any of this shit.
She's gonna see that
Yeah.
coming. I mean, like, she seems like
Yeah,
she's
she
rather intelligent. If we say we'll bring,
Wait,
James
why
tomorrow,
would she see?
she's going to. It would have at least crossed her mind that we might say, yeah, sure, we'll bring him tomorrow, and then run for it.
But
Yeah.
what would that be different from running now?
I didn't say it was. I'm simply pointing out that we need to see all the sides here. That this is something
Well,
that should at least be considered.
Also,
Is it-
keep in mind we have something that she wants,
Mm-hmm.
so we can use
Yeah,
that
if there's
as
a
leverage.
chance, she is fairly desperate about this. She would not be freaking going up to us like this. If she sounds like she really wants that in almost any and all cases.
What if we beat her to the punch? What if we offer a bounty on her head alive, larger than hers? It's not like we don't have money.
Ooh. Ooh, that is
And now
ooh.
you make the GM laugh.
Ooh.
I didn't see that coming. That is
Yeah,
just
either.
because I didn't see it coming isn't a blank check that it'll guaranteed to work. By the way, but
I know,
did not
right.
see that.
But
Oh,
if she
boy.
wants to give him a job, why don't we give him a job that's bigger and better?
Yeah. How? This is a foreign town. How would we put out a bounty?
Are you asking the GM how that would be done, or are you asking?
I-
Well,
I
we,
was-
yeah, it
Buddy,
would be a
right.
fair question to ask. Would any of us have any information like this? Would this be something any of us might know?
Mercenaries are very interesting. Mercenaries sometimes accept jobs based on contacts. You know, I know a person, right? That way you know they're trustworthy, right?
Mhm.
Some mercenaries are very mercutial in nature. And the fact that if you just tell them there's work and promise them that you'll pay it, maybe even giving them a small advance, they'll take your word for it, right? If you want to communicate to a large, if you don't want to literally go into town and say, hey, do some FaceTime with them, you could always broadcast it over the airways. Say, I'm offering a bounty blank.
I have a better idea than even that. How
What?
about we wait until she puts the bounty out, see how much it is, and then just say, no, I was going to say we'll pay you more to do nothing, but then that means we'd have to pay all the mercenaries. Like, I like the idea of she's going to pay you this much, I'll pay you this much not to. But no.
It's
that
a fancy idea, but
Yeah, that
it
won't
would be
work.
better to just put a bounty on her head for something like 2 million.
But
That would be hilarious.
it would have to be alive, because I'm not trying to get her killed. That's not what we're trying to do. So we would have to make that
Okay.
extremely clear. No payment if killed.
Ugh.
Then
This
We're going to be
seems
trusting a lot of.
Okay, here's the way I look at it. I'm not saying that there's no risk whatsoever. She's trying to put a bounty on our heads. I feel no remorse about beating her to the punch. I would
But
not
you don't
like to
want to
kill
kill
her
her.
if I don't. If it would be best to avoid it, but it's not like she wouldn't be bringing it on herself.
all right. I'm going to be. This is definitely not in character.
Mhm.
This is out of character. Would it be better just to attack her here? Seems like a lot of convoluted things to stop somebody who is pretty generally like. She already told us in our face she's going to try to kill us. Usually don't actually like go, well, okay, let's try not to kill the person trying to kill us. One.
Mm-hmm.
Two, we're doing a lot of convoluted things to try to kill. Like, it's
Because think of it
Yeah.
this way: will capturing her fix anything? Will stopping her now fix anything? If she already came out here this brazenly, this with that much audacity, do you think? And it's possible. I'm actually asking: do you think stopping her now is going to keep a bunch of mercenaries from attacking us? Because I personally think
who is going to pay them if she's dead?
you don't think she
Exactly.
could make a wait. You don't think someone could make arrangements for that?
Yes, because she wants to study him.
If I was
so
if I
she
was
dies,
if I was going to go to a behemoth to demand something back or there will be violence, I would ensure that if the violence doesn't go my way, there is someone there to finish the job.
but it's not a mark to kill us. It's a mark to get somebody that she wants.
That's not what she said.
yeah, she wanted to kill us.
What?
Well,
No.
No, she didn't say
not
either
really.
way. That's what I'm saying. She didn't say one way or the other. She just said she's going to give them work, which could mean anything.
All right.
I-
Anyway, if you're very like hard set on not killing her, I feel a lot more comfortable than tricking her than trying to put down a whole bunch of money and trying to rely on random mercenaries and trying to get a connection and things.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not opposed to killing her. I just wouldn't want that to be the first choice. I'm also not opposed, let me be very clear, I'm not opposed to stopping her right now. I just don't know if that's the best course of action. I don't know if that's actually going to fix anything.
Well,
It could, absolutely it could, but
It seems like one person with one motivation. She does seem to have higher connections and probably would be something that would be not particularly too good to have the thing of we killing her out there. That would probably make things a bit more difficult. But
Well,
I think we're probably going to be leaving the next day, sort of thing.
on second thought, capturing her, it's not like it would put us in a worse position than we are in now. It's not like capturing her could make it worse, now that I think about it.
Capturing her.
Or not, stopping her. killing her,
Yeah.
capturing. I'd rather not murder her, but whatever. It's not like attacking her right now is going to. Oh no! Now we're in trouble. So why not? Here's a question for the GM.
Uh-huh.
How far away is this ATV from town? Like at the
100
behemoth
feet.
too. 100
Oh,
feet.
from the behemoth? You mean
Yeah.
from town?
Yeah.
Oh, half a mile, not even.
Okay. If I was going to attack an entire ATV, we would. I was gonna say power armor, but power armor takes like 5 minutes. They'd be back in town by the time I got it on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't
We
you
can.
call her in and say, fine, we'll talk.
Yeah. Let's do
Shoot.
that.
She probably does have a plan for that, but I'm not quite sure how good that's going to be. But yeah.
And worst
Yeah.
comes to worst, we can hunt her, or we can run her down on our vehicles. But yeah, I think that's the best course of action. Invite her in to chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a question, real quick. How
Uh-huh.
many of us has she never seen before? Me. Has she seen? She's seen
Lee.
Bear. Lee.
She's the only people she hasn't seen before is Al, Alicia, and Lee, and
Mhm.
Mel.
Mel,
So perhaps the four of us
and Jackie.
should not be around, so that when things go down, they're surprised by the numbers.
Yeah, good idea.
Seems legit.
So confrontational.
I
know.
You're the one that said we should stop her now.
No, he's just saying we shouldn't beat around the bush. If we're gonna do it, let's fucking do it instead of all
True.
these plans.
Mm.
If it's worth doing, it's worth doing yourself, not hiring some mercenary to do it. Just
Yep.
Though I do love the humor of that. It's like, I'm gonna put a bounty on your head. I'm gonna put one on yours. But yes, I do see the point.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's go ahead and invite her back inside.
All right, so yeah, so she's just walked. I mean, this has happened in a matter of split seconds, right? Because we can decide this. So she gave you her ultimatum, for lack of a better word, and she's turning to walk back towards her vehicle and towards her three associates, we'll call them, in which and so we'll slip it into character here. So who says what to stop her?
I think I will go up and press the intercom.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Let's work this
She's-
out.
Okay, she stops, and you see a slightly thin, satisfied smile on her face as she turns around to face the behemoth again. I'm
Come
listening.
inside.
She pauses for a moment. She says, "You understand I'll have to take precautions. I would like
Sure.
one of my friends to come in with me. The other two can stand outside, just to make sure there's no funny business."
Of course.
Very well. And she pauses for a moment. She calls over the other gentleman and lady, and she instructs two of them to wait outside the behemoth. And you do hear her say and she's not trying to mask this. She says, "If we don't come out in 15 minutes or you don't hear from us, then attack." With that, actually, she says radio for backup and then attack. And with that, she and the one known as Flick, the half-orc with the giant metallic robotic bionic eye in his socket, stand at the door, waiting for you to let them in.
I'll let them in.
Wait, whoa,
Okay.
whoa.
Well,
We gotta figure out
Right.
where the four of us are gonna be first.
I
Hide
would
with,
figure you guys would be in
hide
like
with
your rooms or
James.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could work.
Well, I was actually thinking it might be advantageous perhaps for one of us to maybe be on top of the behemoth in case the people outside need to be handled.
Yeah. That could work.
My thoughts were have one or two people maybe on top of the behemoth whose jobs are, if things go bad and the other people start trying to do something, we at least have someone that can rain fire down on them. Plus, it's a great hiding spot.
Ooh, I just thought of something.
Hmm?
How portable is power armor? Like, if you're not
Not
wearing it
not
already.
wearing it. Not very.
Okay.
It weighs itself like 800 pounds.
All right. So, how about this? We have. Is there a way to get out from the observatory?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is there a way
that's
to get
observation deck.
to? Remember when the
Out.
Sky Cycles attacked?
Yeah, that's where
and
I
you
got
went
out.
from the observatory up that little
Would-
access ladder.
Would a set of power armor be able to fit through that?
Yes, it's just wide enough for the type of power armor that you have. The Flying Titan with its wings folded, or the Samus, it's just wide enough. You'd squeak
All right.
by it, but there'd be a little rubbing. But other than that, it'd be fine.
Given
So my idea
go ahead.
is get Al, Alicia, and Lee all grab as much of the power armors as they can, split it up between the three of them, and try and get up to the observatory.
Lee doesn't know how to use
observation
power
deck.
armor, and he's not interested.
No. He's just carrying it so that
he can't.
Al
He can't carry it. There's only 2 sets of power armor. Well, no, there's 3, including the tearing.
No.
tearing-
between the three of them carry that one set for Al.
Oh, okay. You did make yourself.
And while in the observation deck, Al will put it on while we're having our conversation, and then he can pop up through the hatch if needed.
No, I like the idea. If that's the case and things go badly, if I'm in power armor, I would hope that you guys could take care of who's inside, and then I in the power armor would stand a decent chance taking out that ATV.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that power armor is going to easily get back through the opening. But it's a good idea. Here's a good question, because I'm kind of fine with either. Inferno, is there a big ease or weight difference between the Flying Titan and the Samus?
Yes, Flying Titan is much lighter than the Samus.
All right. Okay, since I don't want to metagame too much and take up too much time, let's just grab the Flying Titan, and we'll do that one.
Okay. Lee grumbles about him not being hired as a mule, but other than that, he drops a few pieces, but he'd be able to.
Okay.
All right, so Al, Alicia,
I don't know
and
about
Lee.
Pamela. Where should she be?
She can just stay out of sight. She can be in the. You know what? She can be in the observation deck in the pool there, keep an eye out, frying someone's brain if they come up or something like that. AKA,
like that.
Inferno's not interested in playing Pamela right now. I got so many other NPCs to keep track of, dude. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
She'll
cool.
be if push comes to shove, I can incorporate her. But for now, she might as well be an amorphous silicone blob. I love you, Rachel. But, no, that reforms and like unforms when necessary, like a Terminator.
Oh yes. Yes.
That's all. I'm just making her cooler. It's all good. All right. We're just narrating, hand waving, right, for the sake of my sanity.
It'll take a couple of minutes for the guys to get situated, get everything up there.
Yeah, which I think it would be fair to assume that you guys are going to have to stall or converse with Elizabeth, because you said come on in, and now you're making her stand outside for 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh,
that's a problem.
Easily, just Tom. I will say this quietly. Tom, just be very honest. Tell her that we're putting James T somewhere where she can't see him until we finish our negotiations. She should understand that.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll tell her that.
Okay. She waits outside. She converses now quietly with Flick. That your sensors aren't able to pick up her conversation. But after conversing for a little while, they stop and they wait.
Okay. So The minutes pass, everybody's where they need to be, and I open the door.
Yeah, I just want to make real clear so that we're fair about this. Inferno, I'm going to be taking half armor piercing, half plasma rockets. So
Okay.
6 and 6.
Okay.
Then yes, I think we're ready.
Yeah, I invite her in.
All right. She steps in carefully, surveying everything. She takes one step into the room, does a very slow scan of everything. In fact, you can kind of see her eyes, which are normally a very dark color, lighten up slightly, almost like a throbbing red is behind the irises. As she scans around, she nods. Flick comes in and she says, if you would, leave the door open.
Okay.
She says, this is a place of trust. We're here to talk, correct?
True.
So, no reason to leave the door open. We don't want to feel trapped inside here after all. You're extending a courtesy, and we just ask you to keep extending it. She looks and she sees a table and she says, well, will we stand and speak, or shall we sit down and converse?
Let's sit.
Very well. She sits. She takes a seat at the table, but Flick decides to stand. He's shouldering a laser rifle at this point, keeping a very careful eye on anyone, but especially Mila at this point. Where are you all situated?
I would like Mila to look like she's been restrained somehow. Like,
Oh my god, that's awesome. All right.
like,
Yeah.
so she's like kind of fighting a little bit. Like she has her hands like behind her back, like fidgeting, like, ugh.
Okay. Like, so is she on the couch, on a table, like in the corner somewhere, looking like she's been restrained?
Yeah, like sitting on the couch, maybe Bear's by her. I don't know.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Bear could be right next to her, right? Okay, and that
And
could
she'll,
also assist.
yeah, before the person comes in, Mila would like wink at Bear.
He kind of gives a bit of a brow, but a bit of a nod, trying to pick up on what you're doing. He'll play it by ear as best he can. Patrick, where are you?
I'm going to be at the table.
Okay. All right. And Tom, you're going to be at the table as well?
Yes. And by shouldering this rifle, he has it up, pointed at us.
No. He's shouldering it. Shouldering it in more of a military fashion, as in the barrel of the gun is resting against his shoulder and his hand is on the butt of the gun, like it's leaning up against him, resting against his shoulder. I guess that's not the proper term for. Anyways, it's resting against him. He has it easy access, but he's not pointing at anyone directly at this point. All right. As you sit down, she says, I'm willing to be generous. I'm willing to honor the first offer I gave you, 100,000 in universal trade credits and 250,000 in cyber tech.
Mila's gonna pipe up, like fidgeting more, like, "Old, you promised you wouldn't get rid of him."
He's a pain in my ass.
But he's our friend.
Will he still get the legs and everything?
She pauses for a moment and says, yes, of course.
Okay. Patrick, what are your thoughts?
Looking not ready for the question, goes, it seems like an awful lot for awful little amount of credits for something that is so unique.
She, oh, sorry, were you going to keep going?
No.
She gives a smile and she goes, "Ah, I see. This is all a bargaining chip. I get it. Well, why don't you quote me a price back then?"
Do you
All
want to take
right.
this, Patrick?
Knowing very little about higher numbers of economy and things like that, but he does know general things like magic items and how expensive they can be.
Yep.
I'm going to go with, let's just say, I would go no lower than 10 mil.
Oh, she shakes her head. She shakes her head. And she's like, "You are being very, very greedy, I'm afraid. As much as I wish I had 10 million universal trade credits on my cred stick right now, I do not. But I can sweeten the deal a little bit longer. I'm expected to get a new shipment of some top of the line items from out west in the next week. 300,000 universal trade credits. No more than that, I'm afraid. But I'll give you 500,000 in cyber tech, and I'll let you have first pick of my new shipment."
What is
That's
this new shipment?
She gives a bit of a smile. She says, "Oh, some of it's juicer augmentation. Some of it is mind over matter. But if you're not interested in augmenting your entire body, which, by the way, is incredibly costly and definitely worth the price of admission, for lack of a better word, I do have some," she smiles, "coalition tech that was recently acquired. Bionics, military, very top-of-the-line stuff.
Interesting.
Very. The Red Suns are very interested in getting their hands on it, but I'm willing to let you get your hands on it first. See, I told you we can converse. We can be very, very amenable."
I know. I'm somewhat familiar with coalition tech. Somewhat. By what kind of tech do you mean? Weapons?
But yes, mostly used for weapon purposes. Yes. Plasma cannons, missile launchers, all being able to be hidden and disguised within a bionic arm. Plasma rods that can be concealed inside of a leg. Yes.
So more cyber stuff. Gotcha.
She says, "Well, that is my that is my calling. I don't really make deals with the cyber doc without expecting that to be in trade."
True. Unfortunately, cyber tech is useless to me. So.
Well, you can always sell it to someone else. There's all sorts of buyers here. Perhaps if you make them desperate enough, they might pay you double. You might have a way to actually double your money if you're coy about it.
And get what, $1 million?
Yes.
Out of the cyber? So we're looking at
1.3 million if you're smart.
If we're smart. Interesting. Might be an idea.
By this time, Al, you, Alicia, and Lee. Lee is actually getting back down to hang out with Pamela. Well, not really hang out with her, so to speak, but he's going to stay in the observation area. You and Alicia can go up top. He'll come up if you really need him or something like that. He's like, yeah, just kind of call, but I don't need the fresh air. But you need probably a few more minutes to get the power armor on, but you're definitely on the roof. And from what you can tell, no one down below seems to have detected you. They're not making any moves. They're not saying anything like, "Hey, who's on the roof?" and crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, keep going.
See, have you heard of this, well, kind of roaming patrol gang thing that's been kind of plaguing this area?
You'll have to be more specific.
Well, there have been robots that have been attacking us specifically. We've come up against these rhino-looking things and man-robot things. They seem to be made out of the same stuff that James over there is.
I'm not too sure about that. I do know that the anarchists ran afoul of some humanoid machines. They brought back some pieces of melted wires, claiming that it was a robot.
Yeah, we've. That's kind of how we found James, which we had to rescue him somewhat, away from about 8 of them.
Very well.
They have a very curious thing to do where if they were to go down, like to quote unquote be captured, they have a self-destruct. Which for the life of me, I'm pretty good at demolitions. For the life of me cannot figure out how to disarm it. So,
So you're saying he'll explode?
No, he won't. He won't. There's no such explosives in his stuff. But if I were to say, find another and bring it to you, or have you come to us, would you be interested in learning from one of those?
She smiles. Perhaps as a professional courtesy, yes, but we're kind of speaking off topic. Right now we're talking about your friend coming along with me.
True, and I am actually trying to work that into part of the bargain.
Oh, I see. So not only would you like what I would pay you, but you would also like a personal favor.
Yes.
Roll me a D100.
Okay.
Until I get more details, I cannot guarantee a yes, but I'm always open to new challenges, if it is what you say.
Yeah. And you have to see how these things are fucking wired. It's like every single seam, every single rivet is packed with the stuff. Like, it's almost designed to implode.
I see. Interesting. So, do we have a deal?
Do you mind if I talk with my buddy Patrick for a little bit? We'll just go to the corner and everything.
Very well. Yes, of course. Confer.
I'll get up, motion for Patrick to follow. Patrick?
Tiff, you there?
Hey!
I've been
Okay.
muted. Excuse me.
Yay! Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay.
Elizabeth keeps her eyes on Patrick and Tom, while Flitch is still very interested in Bear and Mila.
I am going to radio Al when we get to the corner. if I
Okay.
can, using my
Uh,
suit's radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got everything situated?
GM, do I have everything situated?
Yes.
I will softly reply, as good as I can.
Give me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth stands up. She says, "What do you have situated?" Fletch, get ready.
Do
She
it.
says. And everyone's rolling for initiative.
Yep.
No surprise round. She heard you.
Yep.
I would like you all to roll for initiative and put her up while I quickly use the washroom and get
Yeah.
myself set up.
I
Darn.
gotta use the bathroom too. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to do that too as soon as I...
Son of a bitch.
Bam.
Okay. I'm the only one here. Goodbye.
No, I'm here.
Have
What?
fun.
Everybody's going to the bathroom.
Oh, well, and I haven't gone yet, so you're not alone yet. You will be, though. You will
Yeah,
be.
I know. So that's interesting fun times.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. I thought I did okay.
Sure. I had no idea what your angle was, but I thought if you're just killing time, you were doing great.
I was literally just buying time.
All right, then you did great.
Darn! There was one thing.
You wanted me to do something?
Oh man, with that response of just like that one response where she's just like, "What do you have ready?" And you could literally have just responded the freaking robot.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have.
It was the one thing.
That's all right.
That's okay. Yeah,
Um,
this was bound to happen anyway, so that's fine.
How many attacks do you have? You have 6, right?
I got
Or
mine.
no, you're in the
I got me. Don't
flying.
worry about it. I got me. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
Any power armor will give me 6.
Okay. You don't have you.
I'm working on
Okay.
it.
You're doing it.
Yes.
Guess what? Boom! Done.
Oh, what an exciting way to get into session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now I have to run this room. In front of, I do have a quick question though, because
Yep.
I'm a little confused on this one. So the flying Titan armor thingy. Obviously, I'm going to have my battle rifle with me. The mounted turrets on the wings. It says there's
they're fixed forward.
right. What?
They're fixed forward, so it's not like they wait.
No, well, according to the
okay.
description, they're not. But if mine are, I
Oh, okay.
can.
No, of the description. No, I'm just visualizing something different. Okay.
My question is exactly how they, because it says they're voice activated. Now I am assuming that I can't voice activate those and fire my rifle at the same
no,
time.
because your targeting system, right?
Got it.
You're targeting an attack for your hands, or you're targeting attack for the wing turrets. No, you can't attack twice in one round.
What about can I fire both turrets at the same time? That's the part that really confuses me.
Oh, you should be able to.
Okay.
Unless they're not synced up. You know what? While you go to the bathroom, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Okay?
Yeah,
And
my
make a
two
judgment
questions are: is can I do that, and if I do, is it 2d6 per turret or per both of them? So not
Okay.
sure how that goes. I'll be right back.
Yep.
I think I bought time pretty well.
Mm-hmm. It's 1d6 each, so it's 2d6.
Cool.
So to answer it, because wing lasers 2, a tiny laser turret is mounted on the underside of each ring, and it says the turret. Anyways, I'm making a judgment call because it doesn't say. Typically, what happens is if it's like a single or double, it would be like mega damage, 2d6 per blast or 46 per dual blast, right? It doesn't say that. It just says 2d6 per blast, which implies that that's both of them firing. So boom. I'll tell that. I guess I should have waited to tell Squee that because you guys don't give a shit, and I'll just have to repeat myself. Let me roll
I can
initiatives
repeat
for
it.
people. No,
I
it's
can repeat
fine.
it.
No, don't worry about it. Associates,
Mm.
aka hired goons. Goons, hired goons. All right, Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. Nice. Oh, Elizabeth, you have an initiative of 18. Good stuff. So, so 4. 1, 2. Whoop. 2, 3, 4. Boom. Goons. Hired goons. Hired goon. Wow. Yeah, they definitely got
Yep.
mhm.
Squee.
Mm-hmm.
It is 1d6 per, so 2d6 total.
Got it. Those are very puny
10.
turrets. All
Yeah.
right. That's fine.
Yeah,
Because I can take
they're
my
just
rifle
little
with me. So.
guys.
Hmm?
They're just little guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like the equivalent of like a laser pistol.
Right.
Well,
And that's
double
fine.
laser pistol.
I have my rifle with me anyway, so. Actually, I think my
Here?
rifle's better than, even if they were 2d6 apiece, I think my rifle's still better.
Hi.
Hello.
All right. We're good. I got all my initiatives. Feel free to sort as you will by PP. Oh wait, I need Alicia, and there's no robot here. That would be hilarious, though. All right, Alicia, girl. Let's see what you got.
Whoops.
Quick
9.
question.
Okay.
One more, because I just realized it doesn't say this. For the wing rockets, now 6 on each wing, so 12 total, does not give me any rate of fire. You might just have to make a judgment call on that one, because I see no rate of fire whatsoever.
Wing rockets. Hidden firing studs. Rate of fire, 1 at a time, or volleys of 2, 3, or 4.
Oh, did I
So
not?
1 at a time is aimed. Yeah, it
Oh.
continues on to the next page.
Oh, I must not have copied that. My apologies. So 1 at a time, 2 or 4 at once. But that's going to, assuming 2 or more
2,
is burst
3, or
shot.
4.
Got it.
2, 3, or 4. Yeah, 2, 3, or 4 are burst shots, of course. A single one is considered an aim. Groovy?
Groovy.
All right. So, top of the order. The Goons! The Goons! What did they do? Flick, of course, Flitch, I should say, lowers his rifle. And what's their prerogative? Well, who do they see here? No. They know. Okay. They're uncomfortable. The Flitch is going to actually, from where he is, he's going to move to the door and fire a wild shot at. Never really did trust Mila, so he's going to fire a shot at her. It's wild, though, because he's doing it on the run as he moves towards the door.
All right.
So he gets no bonuses. He just needs a 5 or higher. And he gets a 3. So a shot shoots from his laser rifle and hits the space above your head, Mila, immediately. It whizzes above your head. All right?
All right.
I've realized I forgot about Bear. So Alicia and Bear are going to share turns, because that's necessary. And now he is now at the edge of the door. Not Bear, but Fletch. And and the ones outside are just kind of at an alert state. They don't know exactly what's going on yet. It's happened way too fast, right? Elizabeth, on the other hand, demonstrates her lower hands. 2 blades shoot out from the wrists of her lower hands, and her top right hand pops free. A chunk of the upper arm itself pops free as a compartment is revealed, and she pulls out what looks like an ion rod, oddly enough, and she raises it towards you. And as she also makes a move for the door, she fires it. At this point, she fires it at Tom. Once again, she is doing all this all in one turn. This is a shot on the run, no aimed burst, nothing. Just a roll of 1d20 because she's doing it super quick, right?
Mhm.
That is enough to hit, however.
Mhm.
So would you like to take a defensive action? You would have to roll, it'd be a 1d20 minus 10 with no dodge bonus. So you'd have to roll a natural 17 or higher to dodge it. Otherwise, you may do a simultaneous attack or another defensive maneuver.
Ooh, I think I'll do a simultaneous attack. Ooh. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to have her... Okay, well, sorry. What would you like your simultaneous attack to be?
Ooh, I would like to do a fire eruption out, looking out of the door. I'd like to block their way so they're caged in.
Okay. Let me just... Okay. Yeah, no, sorry. I'm looking up something real quick. Let me just look something up, which is my cybernetics and bionics, because I wrote down so much stuff with the exception of her ion rod. Give me just one moment.
No worries.
I just want to make sure I have the right damage, because I'm going to hit you with it, right? There we go. Concealed arm. Oh. Well.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh, hey, guess what? It does the same damage as your laser pew-pews that you were asking about, Squee. 2d6.
Cool.
So, you get 8 damage to your chest as an ion pulse shoots from the end of the rod, hitting you square on the chest, your body armor square on the chest. And and at the same time, a fire eruption. Is it going to pretty much block the entire doorway itself?
Ooh, yeah. It's going
Okay.
to be 55 feet wide, 55 feet high, and about 15 feet deep.
That's enough to hit the guys outside.
Oh,
So,
really?
Roll damage. Yeah.
All
They were
right.
standing outside the door, and they didn't move. They were just on alert. So I'm assuming it's from the outside, like a cube is on the outside, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not half outside, half inside the behemoth, right?
Yeah, it's on the outside. First off, I need to make sure that they are going to be, that it's going to hit straight up right there.
Yeah.
Because I have to roll a percentile. 76%. No, it is going to be off by 2d6.
So roll it.
2d6. It's going to be off by 7 feet.
Now here's the problem. 7 feet left to the right, not a problem. 7 feet north to south could be a big problem. You know what I mean? 7 feet could be inside the behemoth, or 7 feet could leave a gap between there and the behemoth. So
Yeah.
there's a 50-50 chance of it being unfortunate, right? So 50-50 either being forward or backwards.
Yeah.
So I would like you to roll a 1d100. And what do you want the good consequence to be, high or low?
Low.
All right, roll it.
Cool.
Okay,
right.
great. So then it just goes 7 feet directly to the left, which now it's 43 feet around, kind of from the center. We're going to say one goon doesn't get hit, so it's only the one guy on the left. Which, by the way, I'm going to just start bringing up. You know what? I'm opening up a. I'm going to keep track of these guys' hit points and shit like that. Just in a notepad, if that's okay by you guys. You don't necessarily have to see it. I can describe it to you, okay? So,
Seems fine.
roll damage.
23.
Okay. Thank you.
And she will notice that I put my arm out to do this.
Cool. Alrighty. So that was her and your turn. Patrick!
Firefight. Patrick's going to get his gun out.
Okay.
It's holstered, so that's pretty much going to take majority of his turn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it for him.
Okay. Elizabeth's turn again. Ah, shit.
She is unhappy at this whole situation. She looks at the fire considerably. And as she's still shooting her laser, she's going to continue to shoot her ion rod at you, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
But you hear her yell to Flitch for him to go in first and to run as fast as he can. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.